Hello everyone, it is the YouTube Schizophrenic coming back at you looking 30% less homeless this time. I want to talk to you about the new developments in Onision's FBI investigation, as it seems to be leaning more and more towards the fact that the whole thing is a farce, phony. We've been conned. From what I can gather, a Newsweek reporter has been in contact with Wes Most and Vincent about this topic. As a quick recap, Vincent is Chris Hansen's coffee boy, and Wes is one of Vincent's doxing victims. Twice, mind you. This is a Newsweek reporter by the name of Stephen Sark, however you say his last name. Over the past few weeks, I've had multiple conversations with Vincent Nicotra about his recent behavior. On Sunday, he mentions in passing that he still has possession of the laptop and phone Sarah had sent out in November. I thought that sounded really strange. Now, this is something that was reported back in the early interviews and has been the narrative for a very, very long time. When I interviewed Sarah back in December, she was confident that the FBI had both her laptop and the cell phone, which contained messages sent to Kai when she was still underage. Vincent had told Sarah that the hard drive is being sent to the FBI. That never happened. Vincent said that the original plan was to copy the data on the devices and then send it to the FBI. The package was shipped on November 7th to Vincent's address under Chris's name. Vincent claims that Chris Hansen told him not to touch it and to wait for further instructions, because that's ominous as fuck. The package sat with Vincent, unopened, for months. I don't like to get involved in the stories I cover. That isn't my job. But I knew that Sarah didn't know what was going on after the conversations with Chris and Vincent. Her devices were shipped back to her this morning. Chris said in a statement that he called the FBI immediately but didn't want to ship it around without knowing the proper chain of custody. Time went by and he didn't hear anything back. This morning, he spoke to his connections at the FBI again. This is Sarah's reaction on Twitter upon learning the news. Very contained compared to what I was expecting, but she is still going off about it now, last I checked. Let's cut the shit. Chris Hansen is a liar, a con man, a charlatan. He has played us all for fools. Onision's victims have been put on display like zoo animals for our amusement, and chances are nothing is going to be coming from it. Now, Chris Hansen will come on his show tomorrow and talk about how the FBI investigation is still on. Bullshit. You have thrown the FBI around as if it were your private army, going after random impersonators on Twitter and YouTube, and you expect us to believe you now? You lied about things being sent to the FBI. Apparently, you have lied about an active investigation as well, because you apparently are so far out of the loop, you didn't even have the stuff sent there in the first place. You might be able to trick the random anti-O Twitter community that's brainless and will happily suckle up anything you spew at them. I'm not going to be like that, and neither is the YouTube community. You will be dragged. You will be deleting lots of comments on your next YouTube video. Lots of super chats are going to be randomly disappearing yet again. You have taken the wounded animal that was your credibility and beaten it to death. To the people who still believe Chris Hansen, would you like to buy a bridge? This is the end of that debate about the FBI investigation for me. The only people claiming that there is an FBI investigation is Chris and Vincent, and the shadiest of the Onision victims. All of them are not trustworthy. Their word is mud. My advice to Chris Hansen and Vincent Nicotra at this point, walk away. Maybe admit you fucked up and that you've been lying, and then walk away. You have ruined any credibility you have, and you will tank your entire YouTube channel if you continue on this path. Now, I see a lot of people quoting this article from Newsweek as some sort of confirmation that Chris Hansen wasn't lying, that the FBI investigation is legitimate, and I would like to debunk that real quick. Sarah, who first started talking to Jackson when she was 16 before involving herself in a three-way relationship with himself and Kai, has not spoken or been contacted by the FBI. Now, why would the only person with a real legitimate case not be speaking to the FBI? The FBI did not return a request for comment by publication time. which they won't. They're going to tell you that they cannot confirm or deny an investigation. So asking the FBI for anything is a bit of a joke. On Monday, several Twitter users posted excerpts from records requests regarding Jackson and Kai. The first included an incident from September 12th, where Jackson's 2-year-old daughter fell out of the window of their 2-story home. We're going to look at that police report real quick. Also, the FBI has opened a case and are reviewing his video content. All this confirms is that there was already an FBI investigation open. Nothing about Chris Hansen is confirmed. People parrot this like it's some kind of confirmation, and it pisses me off to no end. There are those within the anti-Onision community that are so desperate for any semblance of justice, they cling to fabrics of truth like this as some kind of confirmation that Chris Hansen hasn't conned them, that they haven't been played for fools. And I do include myself in that list, because initially, I did believe it. Chris Hansen, the pedo slayer. Who could possibly doubt him? But at some point, you have to call a spade, and call them out for bullshitting you. Chris Hansen has been knocked off that high horse of his. He has repeatedly lied, conned, and acted generally shady the entire Onision investigation and prior. He may succeed at pulling the wool over some people's eyes because he acts through puppets, such as Vincent Nicotra. But I'm not so easily fooled. Neither are most people. You can watch any of their streams. The comments, they get deleted because people are calling them out. This isn't news. This isn't an unpopular opinion. The tides are turning against you, Chris Hansen. That's all I had to say today for the most part. If you still think there's an FBI investigation, please sound off in the comments below. Give me your viewpoint. Maybe I'm wrong. Until then, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as is tradition. And have a good one, my schizo warriors.